Hey, this is Sasha. Thanks for joining me here in this week's episode. What I want to do is go ahead and share with you some insight on probabilities of in the money. So if you're trading options and you're brand new, you're just trying to get started, and you have no clue what probability in the money means and really how you can use it, I'm going to explain that to you right now. So stay tuned. Okay, so when we look at probability of in the money, we're talking about trading options. Okay, so options, they have what's really nice about options is there's statistical probability. So if I'm looking to trade McDonald's, and here I have calls, and then here I have puts, all of these things at different strike prices. It could be 200, it could be 210. 220, they have a probability success rate next to them that's attached. So, for example, let's say a call on McDonald's, not that I know that what it is right at this exact moment, could have a probability of in the money at 48%. This one could have 42%, could be 36%, and so on. Because as you get further out in price, let's say right now the price is $195. If you're looking at a $280 price, which is a huge move in McDonald's, that could be like a 1% chance of it actually getting there. So how do you use these kinds of things and concepts to go ahead and really just ramp up your trades and budget a trade or set up a trade? So I'm going to share that with you right now. We're going to go to the panel right here. So what we'll do is we'll take a look at actually McDonald's. I'll show you a little quick setup, and that way you get some insight. So when we look at McDonald's here, you'll see the probability of in the money on this side, right under the call. So if you look right here, there's probability in the money for the call side and probability in the money on the put side. So depending on if you're doing a put or a call, you could go ahead and see the probabilities. Now, different panels, different brokers do it a little differently, so check with your broker. I could, of course, go ahead and change this here, option theories. There's probability of touching. There is also probability of out of the money. So that's what I'm going to work with here, and we have probability out of the money and in the money. So right now, as I'm looking at this trade right here at McDonald's, right now the current price is $194.25. Now, if I'm interested in getting this stock, at 195 or a little bit higher, I want to see, hey, well, what's the chance of it actually getting to 200 or 210? I could do it in the option form where I could say, hey, well, if I'm interested in selling option contracts or buying option contracts, probabilities give me kind of a chance. Now, if you're also swing trading or day trading, it's kind of an interesting fact to look at that, hey, in 37 days, this has kind of a 24% probability at the 200 strike price, 24% probability that this will be worth anything. So, hey, I got a 24% probability on my swing trade that it may hit 200 and kind of be above there. So is that high odds? Low odds? Well, that's a question for you to take a look at. But what you could do here is when you're doing these kinds of trades as well, I could say, okay, well, 24% probability, that's not too bad. And I could say, okay, well, let's go ahead and buy a single. And this is what you could do with these kinds of trades. Now, if you're a net seller, what's interesting about this is you could go ahead and say, okay, well, if I got a 24% probability of it being in the money, well, that means if I'm a seller, well, I have the opposite probability of out of the money, that'll be out of the money at expiration. Actually, I have a 75% chance of success. So really, it may be a better alternative that I'm a seller of these contracts at the 200. So what I could do instead is go ahead and do the selling side. And now I'll go ahead and collect $130 on the premium for this. Now, of course, this isn't the best trade setup if you have a reduced risk tolerance, because you have losses are pretty much unlimited. So you want to protect yourself, maybe convert it into a vertical. But I'm just explaining the concept of probabilities in this video. And if you really want to learn a lot more, definitely check out our website at tradersfly.com. You could go ahead and check the Getting Started page on options right there. in the starting section and go to the options section. We'll have walkthroughs, or check out some of the courses that we have available, really more specifically towards options. And there's so many courses in there that we're working on developing and evolving. So check that out at our Traders Fly website. Now, as we continue this process, you can go ahead and really set up trades in a unique way. Because if I have a probability and I know and understand, hey, that anytime I show up and I have a 20% probability, 5% probability, 90% probability, all of a sudden it may shift your trade or perspective. So if I look at some of these trades and I go probability of in the money of 5%, it's probably not the wisest call to purchase. 1%, probably not the wisest either. 0.82%, again, probably not going to be worth much. But hey, if I do the 195 or the 200, I have kind of better odds and a better chance. Now, if you're a net seller, hey, look at my odds. Well, here I got 75%, 94, 98, 99% chance that I'm actually going to be successful on that trade. So imagine if I show up and I say, hey, I'm going to have a 94 chance of success, almost a 95. Well, I'll sell these things all day long. And that's the probability of out of the money. And what you can do quickly is, you don't have to have both of these columns, is you just say, hey, well, if that probability in the money is 5%, well, that means in general, this should be 95%. So what I could do is at the 5% sell, and then what I could do is sell those singles. And as we looked at it just earlier, just a second ago, I could go ahead and sell, these all day long, sell 20 of them, 50 of them, 100 of them. Because if I'm very confident at 95%, well, I could make $440 within 37 days, because chances are that stock's not going to hit, 210 and stay above it. Now, I'm not making a huge premium like I would if I was selling something closer, like a 200. I would make a lot more money in that case. But of course, my probabilities are less. And that's really how you could use these probabilities at a basic level, calls and put side. On the put side, it's the same thing. Really, if you have these probabilities here that you could see in the money, and you can say, hey, well, that's a probability in the money of 5%. Well, that's kind of maybe protection I don't want to buy. Maybe something around here, if you think stocks will sell off 10%, 19%, that's maybe where I want to get the protection, because it'll be worth something. But if you're a net seller, hey, you got a 90% chance right here where these things, hey, 90% chance out of the money that you'll actually capitalize. And if you really want to be safe, well, you could go further out, but the premium, of course, is very weak at that level. So anyways, that's the basic concept of probability in the money and how it works and how you can kind of use it to your benefit. And, if you're just getting started in options, this is a great thing to kind of start looking at, because you're looking and dealing with probabilities and chance of success. Even if you're swing trading, this is a good thing, because as I look for these kinds of things further out at about 128 days, I could see, hey, well, I got about a 17% chance of success at about 210 if I'm looking to hold these things a little bit further for 128 days. So think about these concepts regardless of the type of trading you're doing, because probabilities work for you, and it's statistical, it's a mathematical approach that really can tweak your trade and make it more meaningful, and you can put more cash and capital on it if the probabilities are in your favor. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me. Remember to hit subscribe here on YouTube if you want to continue watching other great videos that I have, or join me on my newsletter list by clicking the link over here. And of course, remember to check out our website to see the Getting Started page or the courses that we have available as well. Thanks again. Remember, do what you love, contribute to other people, but most importantly, live life abundantly. I'll see you in the next video.